Now in this short video we're dealing with lane discipline. Now you notice we're in the right hand lane at this traffic light turning right, and the van next to us is also turning right, so it's important for us to stay in position as we go through this curve and we end up in the right hand lane of 2 with the van next to us. Now this lane then splits into 2 more lanes. That will mean that we've got 2 lanes turning left and 2 lanes turning right. Take note of the road markings as you're driving through, and we're choosing the left hand lane of 2 that are turning right. It's important to look down at the markings there again just to make sure you know exactly where everybody's expected to go. And as these lights change, there's no rush through, and it will give us time just to check to see that these vehicles on the left will split away from us and head towards the city, and we're heading towards Southwell on the A612. And you notice here that the dark vehicles are also turning right with us, so it's important to come to the left hand side and keep well over to the left hand side so we exit in lane 1 of the new road. As you can see, we're now in a 2-lane dual carriageway and we're in the left hand lane of those 2, and that's the correct position at this point. There's no intention here to overtake or turn right, so we're going to stay in the left hand lane unless there's a good reason not to. So what we need to do is check and be aware of where the right hand lane is also going, and on this particular road and this particular roundabout there aren't any signs or markings indicating a designated right turn only lane. In that case, we need to be careful when we go through this junction, because a common error that's made on a junction like this one is inadvertently straying into the right hand lane as you go through the roundabout. You'll notice this white vehicle on our right hand side is almost straying into this lane. So again, once we've checked it's safe to enter the roundabout, just make sure you keep well over the left hand side. And when we get to this point where we've passed the first exit, we'll be checking the mirrors and signalling left to leave the roundabout there. And as we leave the roundabout, you'll notice the blue signs and the markings on the road which tell us that we must move out away from the bus lane, and we need to check the mirrors and carefully move over. Okay, now an important thing to note about bus lanes is that they often end before we reach a junction such as a roundabout. Now we're approaching the racecourse roundabout, and again we've got 2 lanes that we could use, so we have to look for the big arrows that indicate where the end of the bus lane is, but on this occasion we're going to stay in the right hand lane to avoid the unnecessary risk of changing lanes. Now as we approach this roundabout, it's important to look very wide to the right hand side, because there is an entrance to the roundabout on the right coming from the racecourse. Now we're staying in the right hand lane again, keeping well in position, checking the mirrors and signalling left to exit, keeping well into the right hand lane just there again, and exiting well within our lane. Now you need to check your mirrors again just here to see if there's any vehicles passing on the left hand side before the bus lane restarts. So just to recap, lane discipline can be really simple as long as you stick to the basic rule of keeping left unless you're overtaking or turning right, or you're told to do otherwise by road signs or road markings, and you're aware of other road users and where they intend to go.